Hello everybody, Mason here, CNA Games. I appreciate you clicking on the video, supporting the channel, supporting the store. You guys always do, and you can do so by going to cnagames.com. Same people, different website. I appreciate you for checking it out. So, what are we doing today? We're talking about rotation. It is upon us. It is that time where the E block for Pokemon is rotating out. That is Battle Styles to Fusion Strike. So all those things, those sets, it's basically the official, unofficial way of Pokemon saying these sets are done, they are no more. Ideally, in theory, right, these products should be about at their floor, and the things that are still sought after are going to go up because supply is just continually going to run dry, and the things that don't have good fundamentals kind of just sit there because nobody wants something that they can't use at least to play the game with. So that's the idea with rotation. The rotations happen to keep players buy new product, basically, and to keep the format fresh. So it's a way of rotating the game so that it's not just power creep piled on top of each other and making more crazy and crazy mechanics. It's a way of just changing the flavor, filtering the water a little bit to keep things interesting when you go to play the game. So let's talk about it. We're going to look at some prices for all the booster boxes and then some of the bigger cards in the set. I want to talk about specific ones, but we're going to do that, and then we're going to look at a little bit ahead into the F block and see what's going on there and see if we can kind of predict what's going to go on in the things that already are a year old, but they still have a year to go. It's going to be interesting. Let's talk about it. We're going to start off with Battle Styles. Battle Styles is the first set with alt arts, right? With the Tyranitar. An interesting spot that Battle Styles is in, as you can see from the graph here on TCGPlayer. It is trending down. Kind of wildly swinging here in the past 3 months or so. If you really want to take a look at this graph. It's about a $10 swing for a booster box that's as old as it is. That's kind of a weird range, especially for it to go up and then back down again. So, kind of like in a weird, funky spot with Battle Styles. As you can see, the sell-through rate on this set is not amazing. Today is the 20th, at 10 o'clock at night. We've sold one box on TCGPlayer, so it is what it is on this. And it's just not a set that is particularly sought after right now. Of course it's not, because it's a rotated set. But, or soon-to-be rotated set, right? But long-term, what does that mean? Will this go up or will it go down? That is always up for some debate, and we can guesstimate what's going to happen here. Obviously, Battle Styles was kind of a booming period for the game. I remember selling these boxes for 170, 180, 190, 200-ish, you know, at the very tippy-top peak of people wanting this stuff. And then it crashed all the way down to like $70 during the big flood of products coming back on the market when Pokemon finally did catch up with things. And it's kind of been steadily up and then now trending back down a little bit in this past year. Battle Styles is not a particularly interesting set to me. It does have the Tyranitar alt art. We can look at that here and kind of look at this guy. This is always a 3-month that I'm looking on these guys. So holding pretty good value still. As you see, near mint copies here selling around 90-ish, a little below 90. It's an important card. It's a good looking card. I love it. I still love it. All these years and all the alt arts that we've had since then, I still love this card. It's a beautiful card. It's really goofy and fun. And yeah, this set is just one that's not. It's easing into the alt arts, right? Before we even knew what alt arts really were, but it's a good fun set. You see the Empoleon V here trending upwards in the 3-month. That's good. I think we're going to see some leveling out of these things as things that have good fundamentals again kind of flush themselves out. We see things that are desirable and kind of not as crazy from the up and down manic periods that we've had. We're going to see a lot more stabilization and natural, organic appreciation, if there is any appreciation, It may take a while. It could be a very long time. There's a lot of battle styles out there still. But eventually we'll get to a point where, you know, singles start drying up, the sealed product starts drying up. Yeah, it's going to do what things are going to do. But in the short term, what to expect? I think a lot of these cheaper alt arts, like this Empoleon V, has been very cheap for a long time. It may creep up a little bit higher as people want to flesh out their alt art collections. But yeah, I think all these things are gonna be in some movement. Here's the Single Strike Urshifu, another expensive card from the set, trending down and rightfully so. You know, these new Pokemon, DLC Pokemon, not particularly popular, not memorable. It's very niche. This card is very niche. These cards here in the alt-art slot. It's going to take a lot of people's interest and movement to kind of get these cards to move properly. So we're going to see how that goes about and see where these Urshifus end up. I think with so many prints and all the different types of prints of these cards, they're probably... I think they're high for what they are. I think this should be a little bit lower along the way before we see any sort of actual organic growth from just lack of supply. All right, let's move on to Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign is a kind of an up and down set. Chilling Reign is on a tear right now. It is going a little crazier and a little faster than what should be reasonable for these boxes. As you can see in this 3 months graph, we're up $20 just in 3 months on Chilling Reign. Again, a lot of hype, a big hype period, big ups and down swings. Again, I remember selling Chilling Reign boxes for $70 on TCGPlayer, just try to get rid of them all. And yeah, so now we're back up at 175. Isn't it funny how time works? But yeah, it's all in all a good strong set. Again, it's got these DLC Pokemon with the Shadow Rider and Ice Rider cards. It's got the Calyrex in there, but it does have the Galarian birds that some people do like and think of fondly. So it's kind of a mixed bag as far as like popular things. But I do know that these cards are still very expensive. There are some gem cards in here that may be too low. There may be some that are too high. Let's go through them and we'll take a look and see what we got going on. This Blaziken VMAX in the 3 month, yeah, still going up. A very, very popular card. I made a video not too long ago saying that it was probably one of the most overrated alt-arts, in my opinion. I still stand by that, but it is a good card. And obviously, people do desire it. This price is not this way for no reason. And it's also a very, very hard card to pull. I have not seen very many of this card in person. I've seen my fair share, but it doesn't come in very much. It does seem like people that do pull it, or people that do have it in their collection, are keeping it because it just doesn't come through very often. My personal favorite from the set is the Galarian Moltres V. I think this card is fantastic. Again, has seen some growth here since January here, but then in this February, kind of a steep downcline here. Kind of interesting to watch. And yeah, these things are going to sort themselves out as we kind of develop, again, the sell-through rate and the demand and see how it lasts through this next half a year before we actually are able to see where these sets kind of end up and lie after rotation. Again, remember, as players are playing this game, they're dumping all these cards back onto the market because they're getting rid of them because they no longer have any playability. This Galarian Moltres, for example, did have some playability. So people that are playing this card and do want to put it back onto the market, they might do so still. And that's going to stay that way, again, probably like half a year after rotation, or for all those kind of big wave of restocks of these cards to kind of flush themselves back out, as it becomes truly just like a collector's market at that point. So, yeah, this card's seeing a bit of a dip. Again, could be because rotation is coming. Something that I can actually talk about in a little finer detail outside of just the super stonky cards. But, again, that's another video we can talk about. Let's keep it moving. The Snorlax. The Snorlax is actually already rotated. It is in the D block. So this card is past its rotation point, but also has been seeing a decline. I think $70 for this card is way too much. It's just a gold Snorlax, and again, has no playability demand. So the amount of cards that are on the market, they're just sitting there because it is actually just maybe not a particularly popular card. And again, the prices are trying to slide down to kind of reflect that. Again, all this stuff has to flat line before it can actually either go up or stay stagnant. So we will see what happens with that guy. The Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, beautiful card, looks fantastic. As you can see on the 3-month here, ups and downs, right? Pretty good $5 swings up and down as things come in and out of the market. Again, most of the cards you probably will see are trending down. Again, that's people from dumping them onto the market, people emptying out their playable binder, saying, yeah, maybe they held on to these for a little while, but now are returning them back into the market as we start to get ready for the next rotation block on this playable stuff. So yeah, again, some of this stuff is returning, and it's going to take a while for the product to dry up before these cards go back up in price. So think about that and keep that in mind as we look at these prices here. This Aurora V, Zeraora V, upward climb, but again, it's only a couple dollars, so it's not like it's a drastic, crazy amount. But it is undeniably an upward trend. So this card, looking like it's doing well. Again, another one of my cards that I said I didn't particularly like, but yeah, the market doesn't care about what I think. It's buying it because it loves it. So a good card that is on the upswing. The Galarian Zapdos is another one you can look at from Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign does have a lot of good cards, and a lot of cards with good value in it. You kind of think about this set versus a set we'll look at it later, Evolving Skies. Very similar amount of these higher rarity chase cards that are of this price range, and Chilling Reign are in Evolving Skies as well. But the booster box is a fifth of the price. Well, a fourth of the price. Take that and do with that information what you will. Again, just last one here, a little Ice Rider, because I saw it was such a dramatic climb again on the uptick. It's always interesting to watch and see what these cards are doing in the face of a rotation. So this one, it's apparently wanting to go up. Galarian Articuno V is also on the upward trend after being a little stable through this midsection here. But again, trending up now. You can even see some of the last holds here at $45, so even higher than what the market price is showing. I really do like this card. I do like this as probably the better ones from the set. I think it's very unique, very interesting. So yeah, I like this card being up in price. And the Galarian Rapidash, one, again, a card that I thought was undervalued, and it has, in the past year, kind of crept up and kind of appreciated in the past little swing here. Yeah, this card for $40, I like it a lot. For a long time, it was like $25, and that was crazy for a price value for this card. So to see this card continually to kind of appreciate, I think we're going to see that continue, as it just is a very, very unique looking card. The Galarian Slowking V alternate art has had some rocky ups and downs here in the past little bit. I don't particularly like this card, but that's my opinion. Do with that what you will. Yeah, $30 for this guy. Can't tell you whether or not it's going to go up or down. I do know it's a good artist, very popular art style. People that want to and start a collection with this artist is, yeah, that's going to be pretty popular. Komiyas always do pretty well. We have the Caitlyn, that's also been doing some ups and downs as well. Let's move on to Evolving Skies. This box is very quickly becoming a very hot commodity. As you can see, as I'm filming this video, the last one that was sold is $650. That is a big jump from the one sold previously to that. Again, today, these both sold today, $525. These are big, big jumps that this box is making. There's not a lot of them left on the market on TCGPlayer. It is a matter of time before this box becomes and just shoots to the moon. There's going to be simply no more of this box left on the market. Again, do with that information what you will, but there's no surprises here that Evolving Skies is going to be, and will continue to be, a very, very sought-after set. Let's look at the singles. We have the Moonbryon. Again, let's look at the yearly. It peaked about this time last year. Since then, has found a kind of sweet spot right around the 550, 500-ish mark. Right now, it's looking at 540, and that is a little bit up from where it has been in the past 3 months. So you could talk about Moonbryon, and I have for several videos in the past. Again, you look at the box price and what this set contains, the hype of this set. Think of what Evolving Skies means to modern Pokemon. I'm not saying Moonbryon is underpriced. I'm just saying there's a whole lot of people out there that really love this Pokemon and love this card. And this card is very important to modern Pokemon collecting. Look how many are listed. It's not a lot. Let's keep moving. We got the Rayquaza VMAX. Rayquaza VMAX is actually on the downward trend, and I think that's to be expected. I'm not particularly happy about it because I think it's a great card. I remember for a long time when the set was releasing, the Rayquaza VMAX was actually the peak card. That was a long time ago. I am old. And it looks like, yeah, this card is starting to mellow a little bit. And again, a lot of this stuff is going to do that. We have seen a little bit of Evolving Skies back on the market. Don't know what that plays into the single prices on this. But it is fun to look at this card. I think it is a fantastic card. It is a beautiful Rayquaza, beautiful art. Yeah, I think it is still very highly priced, which is crazy for me to say when I just talked about Moonbryon being a expensive card that could go higher. You know, we're gonna see whether or not what the set does. It's gonna be very fun. I anticipate making a lot more videos about Evolving Skies for a very long time. We have the Leafeon here. Leafeon sitting at 150. Another card that has seen its ups and downs and was in the slower half of the alt arts in the set. But yeah, people just really love the vibe. They really appreciate this card. Very unique and cute card. Yeah, this one makes sense to me. I don't necessarily agree with the pricing of it, but I do understand why it's so popular. We have the Glaceon VMAX, another one that's very cute with a lot of cool Pokemon in it. Again, this card actually crested not too long ago. It was a little bit lower than this, but has seen a little uptick here recently. It's a great looking card. Always great, fantastic looking cards. Cards that people will want in their collection for years and years and years from now. This is not a temporary thing. People will love Eevees and the evolutions, and it will be that way for a very long time. Let's not get it twisted. The Sylveon VMAX, one of my personal favorites from the set as well. Sitting pretty stable in the 125-ish range. Comparable to all the other ones. Yeah, it makes sense. Are you starting to see a trend here, guys? This card, Dragonite, $100 for this card. I remember this card being $40. Again, this stuff is going to start disappearing off the market. It's going to start to see these weird numbers or these outliers. They're selling at 110 when the market says it should be at 95. That's going to become more and more of a regular thing if these cards don't get supplied back on the market. And if they haven't sold at this price yet, why would they sell next month? A couple more, I think, from this one, and then we're going to move on to the last set here. The Umbreon V. Again, $80, $90. And again, 50 on the market. The Rayquaza V, 50 on the market. Espeon V, 48 on the market. Again, what are we going to do when people stop opening these from the packs dry up and they go away, and these cards, as you can see, and this Espeon, 2 sold today. If 2 sell every day, that $48 listings goes away very, very quickly if they don't get replenished. It's a heck of a thing. The Sylveon V. I think this is the last one. Yes, it's the last one. At a $60 card. I think you guys get the point on this. Evolving Skies is and still will be one of the best sets ever made. These singles will be bought and sold for years and years. Let's move to Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike is another box on a tear, absolutely going insane. Yeah, another box I remember selling, dumping, getting rid of, trying to pay payroll. When this box, I was buried in them, and now it's a $170 box. Yeah, Fusion Strike is interesting. We had all those card thefts, what we talked about with Fusion Strike. A set with a lot of interesting cards, popular Pokemon in it, and all in all, was for a very long time, I think, underrated, and now finally just coming into its own. We're looking at the Gengar VMAX Alt Art. A lot of people love this card. I'm not a particularly great fan of it, but I get it. I understand it. I also love Gengar, so yeah, I understand the appeal. This card peaked at, looks like 220. Now it's about 200. I do not know what this means. This, as you can tell, this is a very interesting part when we're talking about the peak of the Sword and Shield block. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? We can only look at the numbers and just keep an eye on it. And we look, and Espeon VMAX, I love this card. I think it's kind of slept on. I think it's a great card. Slept on, get it? Because it's sleeping on the thing. I just love it. It's a great card. A lot of just amazing cards in this set. A lot of people don't love this Mew VMAX. Okay, I get it. And it's also kind of on a skid. I wonder what it's done yearly. Still skidding. Yeah, again, we'll see these prices kind of mellow out as people either lose interest or just goes down in price naturally. We'll see what it does. The Rainbow. We have the regular Mew V. Regular Mew V's has been some interesting movements. One to watch here, guys, the Celebi V. Again, I can't imagine this card. It's got a whole lot of them listed. It's got a lot of listings. But I'm interested to see what this card does a year from now, after all this stuff stops getting opened. We got this Genesect V. This Genesect V is an interesting card because this Genesect and the Mew VMAX in general is a very popular card in the meta. Has been winning regionals and bigger events around the world for the past, since they released, even as soon as earlier this year. So, yeah, a lot of players are dumping these cards. They're going out in the market because it's popular. It's popular deck archetype. It's going to rotate, so now these cards are going back on the market. These are going to stay low. I just see 141 of these bad boys, but it's not going to stay that way. This is too cool of a card to be $13, in my opinion. Even things like this Gradient V. I want to talk about this Gradient V real quick. Out of Fusion Strike. $6 for this alt art. $6 card. Again, take that information for what you will. Just do with that what you will. It's an interesting spot. So, that is the end of the E-block. So, we're looking at these blocks. We're going to say no more of any of that stuff. Never be printed again. Let's look at the next set in the next F block. Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars, I just want to touch on it just real quick. These boxes are already $160. Right there up there, excluding Evolving Skies. Right up there with some of the most expensive booster boxes that are rotating out. This box has another year to go, and they're still staying at 150, 160-ish on the market. Now, it being an F block, sure, it can be reprinted. Absolutely it can. Why would it not be? This is still very high for a booster box. I think Pokemon can eye this and be like, yeah, we got a year to go on this bad boy, and it's already 160. Stable at 160. Has actually gone up in the 6 month. I think Brilliant Stars is probably, if they go and start reprinting sets, Brilliant Stars will definitely get hit. The Arceus card in this is a popular one, and there's just a recent regional over in Japan where Arceus was used in a lot of decks. And next format, in this next F format, it's a very, very good card, very playable card. It's going to see a lot of action. So this card is taking a nosedive now, but who knows what it will do in the next year, as this card is a extremely playable card. I want to look at the Umbreon VMAX again. This card is in the E block, but it's in an F blocked set. It'll be an S21 to keep an eye on. This Umbreon VMAX will be reprinted, of course, if Brilliant Stars gets reprinted, but just something to think about. And then I want to look at the Charizard. Charizard is, it was very, very high. I think too high for a card that was in a standard set. Again, this stuff can be reprinted. There's lots of Charizard Vs out there. If you look at the Charizard UPC, has the matching card to the set and all that. It'll be fun to watch and interesting to see what happens in this block. That the oldest set in standard already has cards and prices and is priced at this value. It is safe to say that this is probably a good candidate for reprinting. So that's the big bulk of it, guys. Again, it's going to be fun to watch. I'd like to do this after the rotation happens and give it a couple of months or two and then see and reevaluate and see where we're at. Pokemon's still very, very big. Lots of stuff buying and selling, getting listed, getting sold every day. It's still very popular. Things are still moving very, very fast. We'll see how fast these prices change as soon as rotation happens. It's going to be fun to watch. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. Write in the comments, let me know. What are you buying? What are you selling? Let me know. But other than that, I'll let you guys go. Have a good one.